السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي اشدد به أزري ويشركه في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وارنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وارنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم نور قلوبنا بنور الإيمان والقرآن والإسلام وبمعرفتك وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم. ربنا اغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين آمين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين. Welcome everyone. I'm very pleased to see you here in time. Inshallah, we will continue to study the chapter Qaf, and we just discussed the verse 29 and 29, which says, ما يبدل القوم قول لدي وما أنا بظلام للعبيد. And my judgment, my verdict, qawl has many meanings here, cannot be changed. There is no change in my decisions. It means whatever I will, that's it. And I'm not unjust to any creature. Now that is interesting. Yes, I decide, but my decision is not made on injustice. It is not unjust decision. It is just decision. And we said there are various narrations in the Quran that the punishment and the reward for the good action, punishment for the denial or rejection or wrongdoings are treated differently. We promised last week that we are going to study this. There are many verses in the Quran, but as an example, we will study this one. من جاء بالحسنة فله عشر أمثالها ومن جاء بالسيئة فلا يجزى إلا مثلها وهم لا يظلمون. Again, the translation says, whoever comes with a good deed will be rewarded tenfold, 10 times more. But other verses give different numbers, doesn't matter, many folds. And hadith narrations also are full of different rewards according to the quality of the good deeds or belief. But whoever comes with a bad deed will be repaid with its equivalent. They will not be wronged. They won't be wronged. Of course, this is, everybody's happy with this. The bad deeds are, or denial and all this kind of negative activities performed by human beings will be repaid with its equivalent. Whereas good deeds will be rewarded manifold. Let's make it an unknown number, manifold, depending on the will of the Creator and His mercy. It is good that there is no wrongdoing. No one will be wronged. But why good deeds are rewarded with manifold but bad deeds are only repaid with its equivalent. We may wonder why. I wondered, I thought about it, I understood that good deeds are the actions. That's my understanding. Of course, not I didn't invent this understanding. From my readings, previous studies, I concluded that I think it means this. Not rather than saying my understanding, I would say my choice. My choice from among the other scholars, what they said, and I came up with this conclusion. Now, let's see the nature of the good deeds. Good deeds are, by definition, any action which is done, performed in the name of God. I didn't say a good action only, but a good action performed in the name of God. The importance of this phrase, in the name of God, acted upon upon this action in the name of God, which means I attributed this action as the creation of, or act of creation of the Creator, who is God, who is called God. Who is this God? We know that from the witnessing of the universe, we conclude that the one who created this universe must have infinite qualities, cannot be imagined. But at the same time, we conclude rationally, our feelings confirm it, that the Creator must exist and he must have infinite qualities. What does it mean? It means I cannot compare and imagine this Creator in terms of this universe, but I am sure such an infinite, absolute being must exist. That is the foundation of all actions, all reasonings, which end up with belief. It means belief in the necessity of the creator of this universe. There must be a conscious creator. Okay, as a result of this conclusion, if we are satisfied with this, I mean, everybody must be satisfied with this by definition, of course, but somebody may have some sort of bias. I don't want to be religious. I don't want to give up my free will to anything above me. That restrictions may prevent people from concluding this result, belief in God, because belief in God, by definition, is belief in ghaib. Oh yeah, it means belief in in the existence of something. What is ghaib? I'm not happy with unknown, ghaib, which cannot be known. These are necessary languages. I'm not saying the people are making mistakes by translating ghaib, unknown, unseen. They are all right because it is a matter of language, of course. We have to make a phrase in order to explain a concept. But what I understand from ghaib, ghaib means not unknown or unseen, believing in the necessity of the existence of something which is not within the perception of my capacity to communicate with it physically, but intellectually, definitely. Very simple. I have my glasses here. When I look at the glass, I know that there is an designer had designed it. I believe in hype here. In a simple example, this is just an analogy, although I haven't seen anybody who was designing it, but I know that intellectually, my conclusion is there must be a designer, a conscious being who knows human beings, who knows how to people how they use the glasses for what purpose they use the glasses. He knows the conditions of the eye, and he knows the distance between the eye and the object, which is it's a reading glass. So the text which is going to be read. All these calculations must have been done by a conscious, knowledgeable person. It means human being, as far as our experience tell us. Now, that is belief in God within the conditions of this universe. But when it comes to the subject comes to the meta, which is related to the creator of the universe, the one who gave existence to the universe. When it comes to this subject, I say, just a minute. It is not a human being. Human being is a part of this universe. But the same logic goes there as well. This universe must have a designer, creator, and the one who must have all these qualities manifested in this universe is said well-ordered, wise creation, just creation, purposeful creation, design, beauty, communication, going on between my feelings and what is created out there. I love it, I don't like it, etc. Everything is perfectly arranged at the same time. So my logical conclusion is this creator, whatever it is, whoever it is, although his being, essence of his being is unknown to me, but his qualities, necessity of the existence of his qualities is well known to me. My intellectual capacity forces me to accept this. Unless I use my free will for under any pretext, maybe bias, maybe not want to submit my existence, my being to anything superior over me for any egoistic concerns, I may deny it. But human intellect, human nature definitely confirms it. That is what we see as a human being. Everybody confirms that 2 + 2 makes 4. But some people may be obstinate for any reason, may say, no, not 2 + 2 makes 4, maybe something else. They may claim that human beings have free will to do that. Sorry. Now, we have to understand that when we say the creator of the universe is an absolute being, if I am convinced about it, which is quite human, appropriate to human nature, then when I say that I'm going to choose to this good action according to or appropriate to the purpose of its creation, that is the good action. Appropriate to the purpose of its creation, may be appropriate to the purpose of my creation, to the purpose of my feelings, my intellectual conclusions. If I say this and be aware that this action that I'm going to do is not created by me. I will choose, but the infinite creator, absolute creator, is going to create it with his wisdom, with his knowledge, with his infinite mercy, infinite will. What happened? I didn't claim that I created it. I gave the credit to the absolute being. So the reward will not be limited to my intention to choose to obey the purpose of the creation of any action. It will be the one who acts in this way will give the credit to the creator. Creator says, now I am going to reward your choice of action, this one or the other one, not according to your capacity of choosing. I am going to reward it according to my capacity. Wow, what's happening here? You can say, the creator may say, since you did this good action, because good, what was the definition of good action? Any action which is performed with the consciousness that the result is going to be created by the creator of the universe, not by me, not by me, by him, the creator. So this is the prerequisite of a good action. For example, the typical example, I may claim that I am a good father, or a woman may claim that she's a good mother. I can take care of my children. I am a good man. I am a good person. I'm a good parent. Okay, action is yours. Reward will be according to your capacity because you said you are doing it. So the reward will be according to your capacity. But instead, that's a typical example. I am going to take care of this baby. It is a trust to me by my creator. I will take care of this baby in his name, knowing that whatever I do is his will. I am just obeying his will, following his will, and the result will be created by him. What happens? My action is performed under is performed with the, excuse me, something's going on my screen. I don't know what's going on. It's interesting. I don't know what's going on. Something strange going on my screen. Okay, I hope you are happy with it. I must have done something wrong. So, God says, I am going to reward your action according to my capacity because you admitted that me is creating. I am creating it. I create with my infinite qualities. Or the reward will be with my infinite qualities. So tenfold, not necessarily that the number 10 is the limit. It means many-fold, according to the one who does the action, how much he is aware of God's power, God's knowledge, God's qualities. How much or how strong his belief is based on conviction. So belief has many degrees. Belief is not static. Likewise, denial is not static either. Become weaker, sometimes doubtful deniers, sometimes obstinate deniers, etc. Or because of the benefit, the people don't want to give up, expect some sort of benefit, satisfaction of ego, this kind of considerations. So accordingly, if you like, the quality of denial changes. The same thing on the positive side happens to the belief. So did we understand why good deed will be rewarded manifold? I think, okay. So for me, it's okay. If you have any questions, I would love to hear you. If anybody wants to ask a question or concern, whatever, I will be very pleased to communicate.
Assalamualaikum, Dr. Ali. Assalamualaikum, Dr. Ali.
Yep.
I just wanted to say that I appreciate you going through the steps to understand that ayah, because previously I would have read it and I would have said, this shows Allah's generosity, and how he's overly, he's more merciful than he is, wrathful, for example. And this is this is a good understanding. It's okay. It's a good one, but the way that you went through the steps to confirm that there really is someone that is the source of my existence and that who I'm responsible to, because he's given me free choice, and also showing how when we make choices, there's a deepening of in our intention for if we are doing it. Both, are we choosing a good deed versus a bad deed, but also are we doing it thinking that are we engaging in it thinking that we are the doers, or are we giving it to the one who is providing, the necessary existence for that deed to take place? And then so I understood much better what it means to do something in his name, which is something we often repeat, but we really don't think about. And I see now that, like, when I'm making decisions and I want to make the good choice, that's one step. But the second part is to know that I'm in the position of watching and witnessing how he creates it. And then even in that choice, then that good choice that I've made, then I should also have gratitude for, for him and how he has, made it be. So thank you for going through the steps. Now I can appreciate this ayah with far more depth and far more connection to my everyday experience.
Thank you. Thank you for your appreciating. I like the idea because I'm learning from other scholars. So we have to thank Allah that he gave us this opportunity to learn from them. Alhamdulillah. Thank you, God. So how about the bad deed? What does bad deed mean? A deed which is performed in one's own name. It means I am doing it. Not the creator is creating, in inverted commas, quote unquote. I am creating it. All right. If you are creating it, and if it is a bad deed, you will be rewarded with your capacity. But we cannot say the same thing. If a person, that is a very fragile point, sensitive point. If a person says, I am going to help a needy person, typical good action, any good action, okay, we say good, helping a needy person, giving some of your properties, your financial money or anything to a needy person is by definition, is a good action. But if it is not done in the name of God, Quran says, no, the good action is which is done in the name of God. Yes, helping a needy person is definitely better than not helping. That is the beginning. But with the language Quran uses hasana, excellent action, good action, perfect action is the one who is performed according to one's belief. For example, there are many arrogant people, wrongdoing people who are taking care of their children as well, but being proud of it. I am a good person, but the reality, you are not creating it. You are telling a lie. That is why good action cannot be defined as any good action, for example, helping the needy person. This is not the Quranic good action. This is humanitarian good action. Is it really rejected by Islam? No. Islam says, God says, do it with an honest attitude. Honest attitude. It's not you who is creating the action. For example, it is not you who gave the compassion for the needy ones. It is not you who gave the opportunity to you. It is my act of creation. I created it. You may claim that I worked for it. Yes, you wanted, but you said, I am going to create it. Although I created it, you insulted me. I created, you said, it is my action. Although it is creator's action. That is why if any good deed is performed, by definition, it needs to be done in the name of God. Any bad deed is performed, by definition, it is done in the name of the person who does it. Now, when I do a bad action, bad deed, what it means, I have performed this action in my own name. It means I did it this one. Is it true? No, it is a lie. That is why the result of this action will be only an empty, what is the word? Not vacant. It is a
vacant, empty,
baseless,
baseless,
Void.
void. Sorry, that is the word I was looking for. Thank you very much. It is a void action because I am telling a lie while I am doing something, declaring a thing, an idea, an understanding which has no base, and also somehow insulting God. Why? He is doing something. I say, I'm doing it. It's not you, but me. It is a very bad attitude. It is not a human, it is not appropriate to human nature. Only the distortion of human nature. Human nature is created to be an honest. Accept the truth as it is. But if we don't accept the truth as it is, we are dishonest. If we are dishonest, it means the action I do is void, empty. Empty. Now, let's make it a very simple mathematics. 0. 0 multiplied by 1. 0. 0 multiplied by 1,000 equals to 0. 0 multiplied by infinite equals to 0. Just its own value, 0, empty, void. Yeah, you write a check, and on top of the check, you write void. Whatever you write, it has no value. You may say $1 million paid to somebody. On top of it, say void. What does it mean? 0. Whatever the number you write, 0. That is why bad deeds are repaid with its equivalent, 0. We have to be careful in this kind of analysis not to confuse the case with the value of belief and the value of unbelief. Value of belief is multiplied by infinite reward, which is called paradise, according to the capacity of one's belief, strength of one's belief. Now, the unbelief is also the denial of the infinite. So unbelief is multiplied by infinite, which is infinite, limitless, void, forever punishment. Now we are talking about deeds, not belief and unbelief. When it comes to unbelief, pure belief, correct belief, or full satisfaction in belief is multiplied by infinite. Now, denial also, if it is pure denial with no suspicion, no hesitation, sometimes say, oh, I may be wrong. There may be a God or a creator. Look at this universe. Look at myself. How can I say, oh, maybe it is developed, but it means dubious, doubtful belief. Now, it will be treated in this way. But action-wise, whether it is a good action or bad action, good action is multiplied with manifold, rewarded with manifold, rewarded manifold. Bad action is given the equivalent of it. But belief and unbelief is a different matter. If someone definitely denies God, I am just the result of nature by itself happened to be, and I am going to die, and forever I'm going to disappear from existence. That is the quality of his hell life. Forever he is going to be suffering from lack of existence, lack of satisfaction. That is what the hell is all about. I think, Yahya alaykum salam. Yahya says, assalamu alaikum in the chat box. Now, let me understand this. Okay. Now, shall we move to our chapter Kaf now?
I have a question if we have.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I've been working with this issue since the beginning of my studies, so many years now, and I hear a lot of Muslims, also perplexed by this, and it's what it's in regards to is intentions. And I hear a lot of Muslims, and as well as myself, who feel very uncertain about whether they have
You are breaking up.
have pure intentions in worship or in good deeds.
Do you hear me, Shahrani family? Do you hear me? Hello? Hello? You are breaking up and you were very well. Your microphone worked very well before. Now this time we don't hear you.
Okay.
Although, yeah, please, adjust yourself.
Do you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
All right. I was going to ask about intentions. I feel confused internally, and I hear a lot of people express this confusion about when a person chooses to worship or chooses to do a good deed or simply fulfill their everyday responsibilities. People, and me included, feel mixed about our intentions. We don't know if we're doing it sometimes. I guess when I used to hear for the sake of God, like the reason why it was confusing is because the alternative is you're doing it to show off, I guess. And you're doing it for some worldly reward as opposed to a reward in the afterlife. And this was, I guess when it was set up that way, it was always hard for me to decide, am I doing it for a worldly reward versus the reward in the afterlife. And today's discussion has actually been very insightful for me because and now I'm understanding it a bit differently. I'm understanding that actually it's not just that, am I doing it because I want, because of the rewards of paradise versus, this world, but am I doing it thinking that I am the one who is simply putting forth the action and always recognizing that I am the witnesser of this. And so I'm wondering, so is this like the deepest or the deeper meaning of what it means to do something for the sake of God is to know that you're not the doer of it, or if that first dilemma that I have is even real at all, because now I'm wondering if it was just ignorance of, for example, in the first scenario, I was the doer the whole time. Either I was the doer, but either I was doing it for the worldly life or I was doing it for the paradise. But now I am simply the intender and I'm witnessing it, being created in alignment with my intentions. And then all of a sudden I don't find myself in the same confusion about, am I doing it for the afterlife or am I doing it for the worldly life?
No, I understand, I think that the confusion is clear here.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for clarifying the confusion. It is not the confusion that you are concerned with, everybody. So
I feel like most people are often worried about is their intention pure? Is it purely for the sake of God?
no.
And And then I feel as if this new outlook that I've learned today is, it's almost it's like a medicine or a remedy for that unending confusion that never went away of, am I doing something for the sake of God? And it seems like the difference is, am I witnessing it as coming from God, or do I believe that I am the doer?
Now, this is a very common problem. Let's deal this problem now, inshallah. Now, if you noticed from the beginning of today's this discussion of this rewarding and punishment, it is one of the main concerns of everybody. I never used the word intention. Of course, it was intentional not to use the word intention. Confusion is there. Quran bases all its argument with belief in God or not. This intention is coming from the Hadith narrations, which is correct. I'm not saying it is against Quranic teaching. No. If you want to understand the function of intention, we have to make this framework or the framework of thinking and based it on a very solid ground. Now, an action needs to be done either according to one's belief or one's denial. That's why the Quran always uses, they do good action, وَهُمْ مُؤْمِنُونَ, as believers, as they are believers. I defined it, if you notice that, I defined that good action means any action which is performed with God consciousness. It means I am not going to create this action, but God is going to create this action. But at the same time, in the course of the explanations, we came to the different levels of certainty in belief, different levels of obstinacy in denial. Now, intention works under the category, belief category. It is subcategory. After one must be aware that this action is going to be created by God, not by me. I have no share in it. And then intention comes according to one's understanding or certainty in belief. According to one's certainty in belief. What does it mean? I believe in God as the creator, but my belief in God as the creator is not really fully established. I still try to save my future in the hereafter. As a result of my action, I am going to save my hereafter, not as a result of God's mercy, because if every action is created by God, and then again, by definition, the reward will be given by God, not by you. You have no share in it. That shows the weakness of one's certainty in God's position and his position. We have no quality to create anything. Everything is created by God alone. That is full belief. Now, paradise is going to be given by God. The people's admiring me has no count. God will appreciate it or not. If I am confusing in my action, although I say I believe in God, but my intention is because of the weakness of my belief in God, not sure when I say I believe in God, which kind of God I am really believing. Now, because if there are empty places there, gaps in my belief, intention accordingly changes its position. For example, I am doing it for the sake of God, but I am doing it, but I'm not expecting any reward from you. I did it for the sake of God, but the actor is me. Look at this. You see the intention, although I say for the sake of God, but still belief is not certain and established there. It doesn't mean this person is denying. No, his belief is weak. According to the level of his belief, this person's intention fluctuates up and down according to the certainty level of one's belief. So what we have to do here, first of all, we must, as the Quran establishes the argument or presentation, whether the action is done, created by God or by me. So if I am doing it for the sake of God, but I am doing it, then I have a share in it. This claim of share in it, although for the sake of God, not for the sake of any benefit from this world, for the akhirah, but at the end, the akhirah, I am going to gain myself. Paradise, it is my work. Still, it is my work. These are all indications demonstrating the weak points in one's belief. It doesn't mean that these people are deniers. No, the belief is not complete. There are endless levels in belief. By the way, if someone doesn't believe in God and everything he does goes under the category of void anyway, intention doesn't count. Because whatever the intention is, he is the actor, he doesn't believe in God, and the reward will be given by himself, natural results. That's out of question now as far as the intention is concerned. But as far as if we say what is intention, we have to talk about intention in terms of belief. But we have to be very careful if we are conscious that whatever I choose is created by God, not by me. That needs a long-term training, which is called belief education, long-term training. When we are absolutely sure, if we are, which seems to be not really possible, very exceptional cases, maybe a few people, but God says, okay, if we have a grain of belief, I will reward it. That is for sure. But at the same time, we have to try our best to educate ourselves in belief so that our intention may not fall into the empty gaps in belief. For example, I am going to gain my paradise. What does it mean? What does it mean? You are going to gain your paradise? You are not creating anything. What do you claim to have it? What do you claim to deserve it? But it is meaningless. It is pointless. But we don't realize. For example, we say, I did it for the sake of God. I don't accept any money in return to my action. I did it for the sake of God. But are you aware that this is created by God and you have no claim, no right to claim anything at all because it's not yours. You are not the creator. You have just chosen free will. This free will is given to you by God. And if you say that, but I have chosen the good one, yes, the quality to appreciate the good option is also created by God. It is God's reward to you. It is God's trust to you. It is not your property. Still, the only actor, if you like, is God. We are just the people who are petitioning. It means this, by choosing, saying that I want this way, not that way. Please, God, give me this way. It means every action that we perform has the potentiality of being a means of worship of God for the believers. For the unbelievers, everything is void anyway. Forget about them. For the believers, is an opportunity to perform a worshipful action by recognition, by consciousness of the nature of belief, what belief means. For example, simple example, if I say this universe must have a creator, well, this conclusion is perfect. That's correct. But yes, it has a creator. How about your actions? How about, for example, let's say, the simple example, a tree is producing fruit. Who is doing that? Tree produces fruit, but you know, tree is created by God. You see the gap? Tree is the actor as far as producing the fruit is concerned. You see the empty place there? There is no God's act of creating there in the mind, in the understanding of this person. So this kind of gaps causes the intention fall. But of course, we have to be aware that if somebody says, I did it for the sake of God, we shouldn't pass judgment about the people, about ourselves. No, I mean, even you don't need to say for the sake of God, because there is no option anyways in your belief that I may do it for my own sake. Because if your belief is strong and well established, you say, I'm doing it, but I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I'm just choosing. God is doing it. God is doing it, not me. He is creating it. I am just sending a petition, if you like, prayer. Prayer. Any action that we do is nothing but a prayer. If we concentrate on belief side of the matter, we may even don't need to talk about intention. But in practical terms, who claim that my belief in God 100% fortified, guaranteed? I don't think so. I don't claim. I don't think anybody dares to say this. We need always to improve our belief so that our intention will be equal to our belief. Otherwise, belief is the foundation. Intention is underneath the subcategory where the belief lacks something, some weak points. Intention there may deviate from the purpose. All these kind of languages are used because of the confusion between the difference, intention, belief, and intention. If we shouldn't use it interchangeably. Let me see what the chat box said. Oh, good. A lot of things are going on here. Let me put my glasses on and see. Intention
I'm
comes
just
in.
writing what you've already said.
Okay. Now let me pass this. Afshan, okay. Can you give us an example of appropriate use of intention? Now, first of all, Afshan, yeah, everybody's question is this. Don't worry about it. appropriate use of intention is only possible according to the capacity of your belief. You cannot imitate a certain language or certain attitude if it doesn't have a sound base of belief underneath it. The person wouldn't notice it. That is why we have to concentrate on not intention. We have to concentrate on belief. How are we going to make more and more surer and surer about belief? That is why we have to always keep ourselves engaged with investigating the evidences of belief in God, in the angels, in revelations, in the hereafter, in the messengers, and the divine determining. These all need thorough studies. We cannot talk about intention. Intention completely depends on one's strength of one's belief. Accordingly, you adjust yourself, your intention. Otherwise, if I say, for example, I don't think you are, but in this case, if I tell a person or to myself, Ali, you must have a perfect intention. Like a person claims that I must be a perfect mathematician, but I am a middle school student. I can learn a perfect mathematics at the level of middle school. Do you understand? Not more. Not more. Intention depends on belief. Belief doesn't depend on intention. The intention depends on belief. Whether you are, belief is conviction. Belief is certainty. Belief is not, oh, let me believe. What is the base? I would like to believe in God. Why? And you know, believers are good people. It's not belief. You have to have the evidence for it, because belief, by definition, is confirmation of ghaib. You have to be sure about the existence of ghaib, necessity of the existence of ghaib. You have to have evidence. Without evidence, you cannot have belief. You cannot say that I believe. I choose to believe. Why? Otherwise, I'm interested in a girl or a boy. He's a Muslim, so his parents said, or her parents said, if you don't convert to Islam, you wouldn't. I wouldn't let my daughter get married with you, or my daughter or herself. Maybe she may say, I cannot get married with you if you are not a Muslim. It says, okay, I'm going to be a Muslim. Okay, it may be a starting point. I don't know people's intention, but marriage cannot be the reason for belief. We have to wake up. Because I want to get married, so that I have to be a Muslim, otherwise a Muslim girl wouldn't get married with me. That's not the reason to believe in God. Your belief in God must be, the universe cannot be explainable in another way. So I'm sure there is someone who is in ghaib, and there must be, definitely, that is what belief is all about. So I think Afshanak's question is very appropriate question, very good question, but the answer is we cannot talk about appropriate use of intention. In order to know mathematics better, you have to go to high school, graduate from there, and go to the college. Graduate from there, do a master degree study or postgraduate study, whatever you want, and then according to your belief level, your intention will be rightly used. Chahrani familiarized. If I am doing it for the sake of God, it's a problem language. What do you mean by the first for the sake of God? But we clarified it. But I think I'm sharing it with him. It doesn't mean he is denier. This person is a denier, but belief is uncertain and weak. It means he doesn't know that he doesn't have any share in the creation of the action anyway. So belief has infinite deepening. Correct. I agree. Thank you very much. So Yahya, may Allah bless you eternally for this knowledge, Sheikh. Yahya, I'm sorry, I'm not a Sheikh. I'm an ordinary man, worse than you. So don't worry about it. Is there a way to understand how our free will to choose works without having any power of its own? Forgive me for my ignorance. No, you are not an ignorant. There is nobody, everybody needs the forgiveness of God. We cannot forgive. We have no power to forgive each other anyways. So, but the question is very good, valid. Our free will to choose works. How? Our free will to choose works. We are given the free will. Free will is a gift to us. Its function is to choose. So that is, we are sure that we choose, don't we? That's it. That is, God gave us this option. What the nature of this, excuse me, we don't know the nature of anything, not only free will. Do you know the nature essence of an atom, the essence of a stone, essence of anything? Human beings cannot know the essence of anything. That's why we cannot know the essence of God as well. Essence, well, the Quran uses the word haq, bil haq. We created with the truth, its own essence. We don't know, but what we know, we don't know what the essence of it, but what we know, we can communicate with the creatures so that we understand. These qualities manifested in these beings do not belong to these things themselves. That is what we have to make sure. We can understand this. We can understand. And we may accept it, we may not accept it. That is the tool that we have been given. We call it free will. So this free will is given to me, so I can operate it, but I cannot create anything. I cannot claim anything. Even the free will is given to me by my creator. I cannot say that this free will is mine. No, it is given to me. It's a tool. That's what we are using, the tools here in this world. So whether you use this way or that way, that is the reality. We are choosing it. That's it. That is what we know. For example, if I see something is useful, I say, this is a useful tool, or this is a useful machine. Now, that is, I can recognize it. That is why the free will is a useful tool to choose. That's what I recognize it. Essence of it, no one knows. We don't know essence of anything. Come on, the best physicist cannot claim. Is there anyone who is expert on physics here? Let me see. There was a friend, whether he is here or not, I'm checking. No, he is not here. He is the really physicist. Even the physicists who study subatomic world, they don't know the essence of anything. They cannot say it. They're not expert. So if an essence of matter is not known, my friend Yahya, how can I know an abstract notion which is free will? How can I know the essence of its abstract concept, which is not material? It means abstract means not material, immaterial being. that even the material being, when it comes to when we think about the material being, we don't know the essence of the material being, let alone immaterial being. For example, what is the essence of ruh, spirit? What is the essence of life? Come on. What is the essence of life? Even we don't know what life is, but we are experiencing it. That's it. This man is alive, or a dead person. This man is dead. That's what we say. As a result of the functions of life, or that dysfunctioning, it means death. That as a result of my choice, I know that I have been given free will. This is a big subject, in fact, but I understand it so simple, and I'm sharing my simple understanding. Make it simple, not complicated intellectual arguments on it. There are a lot of intellectual arguments on it, but the result is this: we cannot know the essence of anything, therefore we cannot know the essence of free will, but from the functions that I recognize. This machine is useful, that's an example, and I have a free will. I choose. Don't you choose? For example, you have written this, my friend Yahya. You have chosen to write it. That's what you are experiencing it. That's your reality. That's it. I accept my reality. Okay. Purity of intention depends on level of certainty of the necessarily existent one. His absolute and his attributes and absolute dominion. Okay. We understood that it depends on belief. Zebar is with us. So it is all about where I am in the process of graduation. Exactly. Thank you, Zebar. Afshan against intention is mood when there is belief. Is this what you mean? I don't know what mood is, Afshan. Can you explain this?
Means like it becomes irrelevant.
I see. Thank you very much. So intention is irrelevant when there is belief. Is this what you mean? Now, let's say not irrelevant. Right now, when there is an unbelief, intention is irrelevant. Now, I understood now. Yeah, but when there is belief, intention, we have to know theoretically. No, if you are again, come back to the same example. If you are a middle school student, do you know what you don't know, which is taught at the college level, mathematics? No, you don't know, you are not aware of it. If you knew it, you know it. It said, I know it. And so you will, so intention really, we shouldn't talk about intention. We should talk about belief, and always, for example, correct your intention. No, you cannot correct your intention beyond the capacity of your belief. So concentrate on belief. If you notice in our discussions, not only today, in this class, in this series of classes, we never talk about intention. Why? Because it is a subcategory. It is not the main category. Because it is the result of belief, the level of belief. Inshallah, it is understood. J says, we have no power to forgive each other anyway. What? Excuse me. Wow, that one makes me think. Forgive each other anyway. Jay, I'm sorry, I didn't understand this. We cannot create, but we can choose. God creates it. So we have no power to do anything as far as the creation is concerned. Otherwise, we have power to choose. It is a quality given to us. We are blessed with it. I'm confused about this, Jay. If you explain it, I will be happy to listen to you. So we can forgive each other. We can choose to forgive each other, but we cannot create the result. God creates it. God says, I'm going to create it according to your belief system, belief level. Shahran, for the family rights, human beings cannot know the essence of our existence or the source of, no, essence of our existence is different from source of existence. But you can say this, we cannot know the essence of the source of existence. I think you mean this. The essence of the source of existence, we cannot know the essence of anything. It is not our responsibility. Our responsibility is to conclude there must be a creator. This creator must be all powerful. This creator must be all knowledgeable. Must be conclusion. The essence of knowledge, no one knows the essence of knowledge. It is not our capacity. It is not our responsibility. But we can confirm the existence of the essence because, yeah, correct. I agree with you because we can witness qualities that are not owned by the matter of thing. Exactly correct. Yahya, thank you so much for explaining. That makes full sense. Thank you, Yahya. Shahran, we cannot correct our intention beyond our level of certainty. Correct. Alhamdulillah. I'm very happy that the class is understood. It was I was quoting your words earlier as I appreciate them. Oh, thank you very much. But I might have either used wrongly, Jay, thank you. Or let me see, Jay. No power to forgive. Did I say we have no power to forgive? Oh, it must be a mistake from my side. No, it doesn't make sense to me.
Dr. Ali, I think that you were talking about how maybe we can choose to forgive, but the result is created by Allah. I'm just guessing that that's where the confusion came in.
I understand, but as far as my mind tells me, I have I didn't want to mention about forgiveness at all. Just maybe I misused the word, messed up with the word. Doesn't matter. The idea, whether I say it or somebody else said, is wrong. So nothing to do with intention. We are talking about the actions, whether we are the creators of the actions or just asking God to create it for us. Perhaps I've misheard. Doesn't matter. Inshallah, we understood the subject from when a student apologized for their ignorance and you told them it is not for us to forgive. I mean, we have to say, God forgives. I have no claim. I understood, Jay, you are right. I understood. We have to, we should be aware that we cannot have any claim over on anybody else. Yeah, but of course, the social interactions are completely different matter. Now, essentially, we are talking about the existence of the actions. Now, I understand why you said that. That you are right, Jay. I understand. So I cannot forgive you. God will forgive you. It doesn't mean that as far as I'm concerned, I must be aware that I have no claim on Jay or somebody else, so that I will say, okay, I forgive you. No, I have no claim. But if I say in social relationship, it is different. In social relationship, we say, okay, please forgive me. We say, okay, I appreciate the wisdom in this. It made me feel also we are not the ones to judge. Correct? No. We have to be aware that, look, we are here only a created beings. Oh my God, it is 16 minutes after the deadline. Inshallah, this matter, I said, if we can deal with this matter today, it will be, inshallah, a good work. Inshallah, may Allah accept it from us. Inshallah, let's start next Sunday from 38. Sorry, yeah, verse 38. Kaf 50, chapter Kaf, verse 38. Inshallah, it's interesting. Every verse is interesting, but this verse also is very interesting. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله